Hey everyone. Parshat Pekudei begins with an accounting. Eile Pekudei HaMishkan. This is the accounting of the Mishkan. What was used for what? How much of this was used to construct that? And Moshe gives a full accounting. This is a very interesting image. I mean, why would we need to know? I mean, why does Moshe need to give the accounting in the first place? He's Moshe. Why does everyone need? Moshe did the right thing, and the Mishkan was built. God commanded it. Why we make such a big deal about the accounting? Let's read a Midrash together to try to understand further what is going on here. Kol ma shaya Moshe asa haya asa al yedei acherim. Everything that Moshe did, particularly in this realm of accounting, he did with someone else in the room. He did it al yedei acherim. He did it with others. Shenemar avodat halavim biyad itamar. It says, right, that the Mishkan and the Mishkan of testimony, which were drawn up at Moshe's bidding, the work was the work of the Levim by means of Itamar, okay, who was the son of Aaron. So this was his nephew, Itamar. Lo osa ela nigmara melechet hamishkan. And he did this. So first of all, he makes sure that he does everything. Others are helping him oversee the construction. He did it with them and also the accounting. When did he do the accounting? Only after the whole project was over of building the Mishkan. Amar lahem, he said to the Jewish people, I want to open the books for you so you can see exactly what we did, full transparency, how this all went down. Nitkansu kol Yisrael. It's really a very interesting image the Midrash draws here. So what happened? All the Jewish people gathered together to hear about the accounting of what was used to construct the Mishkan and how much gold and how much silver and how much went into everything. And so he starts telling him, he sits down there and he gathers them together and he's calculating everything right there in front of their faces. He didn't even prepare it ahead of time. He wanted to show you, I'm going to do it while you're watching me. I'm going to make the accounting while you watch me. Suddenly, shekel. And he was calculating there and he forgot 1,775 shekels. He's racking his brains, like it's not adding up. It's like, where are all these extra shkalim? True, it turns out, she'asa vavim la'amudim, they were used to make the hooks for the pillars that were part of the Mishkan. Amar lahem ve'et ha'elaf u'shva ha'me'ot v'chamisha u'shivim asa vavim la'amudim. And this is what it says in the pasuk, in this chapter. This is the verse that says that it specifies how many shkalim were used for the vavim, for the hooks. Fine. So he has this momentary lapse. Where was the money? And then he remembered, there's the money. So they're literally watching this in real time. That moment, everybody felt good. That what took place here was kosher. No suspicion necessary. Umika Ramlo. But the fact is, it sounds like this became necessary because there was suspicion. You don't need to be satisfied with what you're hearing unless there was something that made you feel uncomfortable in the first place. So what was making what was happening that made the Jewish people feel uncomfortable? Umiga Ramlo al yedei sheyashavu faisan ela Pekudei hamishkan. Right? What was making them a little uncomfortable? The accounting. The Jewish people something was going on that they were nervous that there was a miscalculation, an inappropriate usage of the Mishkan funds. V'lama asa imaim cheshbon. In the first place, why did he have to do an accounting? God, v'kadosh baruch hu ma'amino. God trusts Moshe. Why are the Jewish people not trustworthy of Moshe? God never said you had to do an accounting. This is going beyond what was required. We're going to skip a few lines in the Midrash here. the Torah describes Moshe as taking this project on his own. And the reason that it had to happen was that people would always, when they would see Moshe go into God's presence, according to Rabbi Chama, people would be speaking a little bit of Lashon Hara about Moshe. Rabbi Chama Amar Liganai, when they were talking about, you see Moshe over there, he goes always to meet with God, the tent of meeting. He's always meeting with God. Hayu Omer, and the people would say as Moshe was going to meet with God, you see his neck, Ra'at Savar, he's got a very fat, thick neck. Ra'at Shukim, look at his thighs. They're very, the gesund thigh, they're thick. He's clearly well fed. He eats a lot. Here we are traveling in the desert, and Moshe's getting a little bulky over there. Ochel Mishal Yehudim, and some were suspecting that he was eating from their money. Vishotem Mishal Yehudim, and he was drinking from the money collected by the Jewish people. V'chol Mashi Yeshlo Min HaYehudim, and that Moshe was getting fat off of the money of the Jewish people. V'chaveiro Meshivo. So these people were talking, and one of them said to the other one, Adam Sheshat Al Melechet HaMishkan. This guy's been in charge of the whole Mishkan project, the collection and everything. And you're asking, how did he become wealthy? How did he get all fattened up? It's because he's been slipping dollars into his pocket the whole time. Come on, it's obvious. Put two and two together, guys. Word gets to Moshe that this rumor is out there, that Moshe has all these communications with God, and he's... I wonder if, by the way, the Midrash is picking up on here, people are looking at Moshe and seeing how a privileged life, they might think he has a privileged life. He has such close communication to God, and that is in some ways represented by, that's in some ways a representation of his richness. Be it as it may, however you want to interpret that. Kevan Sheshama Moshe, once Moshe heard the rumor, Kach Amar Lahen, he heard this and he almost turns white, I would imagine. Chayechem, Misha Mishkan Nigmar, Ani Osei Machem Cheshon. The moment the Mishkan is done, I am going to open every book. I'm going to give you a full accounting so that you understand that I did not get one penny from this project. Shenemar, Eile Pekudei HaMishkan. That's why he took on this accounting on his own, even though God never told him to do this. Moshe opened the books. That's the whole Midrash. To me, this is fascinating, and this Midrash becomes an important model for Jewish communal institutions. What we're seeing here is that Moshe understands that if he is to be trusted as a leader, he has to dispel any and every rumor that he has done wrong, that he has misused communal funds, particularly in the aspect when it comes to the money of the community, which belongs to everybody. Moshe understood that while he didn't need to do this, God trusted him, God knew he didn't steal, and the construction went exactly as planned. In order for him to be able to be an effective leader, he needed to be transparent about the processes that involve communal funds. Because if you hide what's going on, even though everything is kosher, people will become distrusting. And that's unfortunate, by the way. I think it's a lesson also for all of us to trust. Unless we have reason to be suspicious, we should trust. We should not start suspecting that people are doing illegal activities just because we don't see all the books. But if we want to be effective leaders, we want to really be able to gain the trust of everybody, transparency. Open the books. There's nothing to hide. We did it as God told us to. All the money that you that you donated, and all the different materials, we used it. Here's how we used it. And when he couldn't calculate, and he couldn't figure out those missing shkalim that were used for the hooks at first, you see how he was nervous. And then he figured it out. But he wanted everybody to see the whole process. This is a really incredible model that the Midrash lays out here, that Moshe understood. You have to make sure transparency reigns, rules the day when it comes to communal funds, because this is the way that you ensure trust in the community when it comes to the projects that are being constructed or taking place on behalf of the good of all. Take care, everybody. Have a Shabbat Shalom. It's been a pleasure learning with you once again.